I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
I think we better fall asleep.
Little known,
take the coat off.
little known fact that we hired Tower of Power for our intro.
I know.
Music
Cost a little more.
cost a little more, but it was worth our soul vaccination.
Little known more fact: most Tower of Power are dead. But
Are they?
yeah.
Well, when did they start?
Oh God, they were early '70s, late '60s.
So are they one of those bands that just kept putting new guys in?
I know they had the same guys for a while. Matter of fact, a core of their guys were actually the house band for the David Letterman show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was their guys
Yeah.
with Schaefer?
Yeah. The Tower of Power, they had a name. They called them the Wall of Power or something like that. Yeah, they were there. They were with the with
Just the horn section?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize it because I saw Tower of Power like.
Oh yeah, I've seen them a bunch of times.
It was in the 2000s somewhere. It was early 2000s.
Back when I was in high school, back in 1973, 74, I used to go downtown to a bar, which my brother eventually owned. But I was 17, and there was a lady that ran the place. She was 38, and I started dating her. And she lived at the Kirkwood Hotel, and I would literally go to the bar and then spend the night at her house, and then my head guy come pick me up and drive me to school in the morning. And I remember that's when "You're Still a Young Man" came out. That was our song. And,
Gee.
Here's the funny thing about it. We were talking the other day about whatever happened to Gloria, and I said I think she moved to Florida because I saw her like back in the 70s.
That's 21 years. So she's
saying.
probably dead. She's probably dead.
89.
Yeah.
So her I think she's going to turn 90 if she's alive.
If she's alive, she's about to be 90.
Yeah, and I'm still a young man.
What would happen right now if she wanted to give it to you at night? What if Gloria showed up and was like, "How about one last?"
We're gonna have to get the life alert on her. She's gonna have to have a rapid radio or something.
I think Jenny'd be like, "I just want to record this.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah,
I gotta have video."
It'd be four bad hips hitting each other there. I don't know if that's a good idea.
You never think about that. The later part, you're always like when you when you first met your wife, she was 8.
Yeah, exactly. I was 18, she was 8. Yeah.
Right. So you always think about that and you're like, oh, that's crazy, weird, whatever. Nobody thinks about she would have been fucking 90.
Yeah. Her name is Gloria Marcus. I wonder if she's still alive down in Florida someplace. Go check some nursing homes. Bet she's still hot.
She might think it was still 17-year-old you.
Exactly.
She might have the dementia.
Exactly.
You walk in there and she's like, "Oh my God,
this handsome young boy. Put on the Tower of Power record.
Look at his fly collar.
You're still a young man.
What happened to your clothes? Why aren't you wearing the fly collar and the vest?
Your pants are still pulled up to your tits." God. Did you ever date an older woman?
Did I?
Yeah.
I never dated any.
Yeah.
I've had a few one night stands with some cougars.
How much older were they?
There was I was 18, she was in her 30s somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That
was back before they called them cougars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I'm trying to remember if there was another one that, yeah, it was about the same kind of age
And
range.
did you ever date a very much younger girl than you? So that went
No,
both ways.
there was after I got divorced, like I would say I don't know, there was like really shortly after I got divorced, I dated a girl who was 34
Mm-hmm.
and I was 44.
When I got divorced for the first time,
That's
it's
not
kind of
that.
funny.
That's not that.
No, when I got divorced for the first time, it was.
Oh wait, there was a girl that was 25 there for a minute.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
And how old are you?
46 now,
Yeah,
but I was like 44 then.
Yeah.
She was 25. Yeah.
Well, that's what happened to me. Is when I dated the girl when I was 18, that was 39, and when I got divorced for the first time, I was 39 and dated an 18-year-old girl. So I've been on both sides of that. Yeah.
The funny thing was I broke it off with her because it just got to where the only thing about her that like turned me on was her age.
Yeah, and that's
like
it
was like, wait a minute, like,
well, that's when you found out you were a deeper person than you actually thought you were, because you finally found out. Like, let's say my brother used to date all these young girls and date them for a while, sometimes marry them, sometimes have children with them.
Yeah,
but
that there's going to come a time where she doesn't want to be with you.
Yeah, you get to a point where you're sitting there, you can't even have a conversation.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to talk about? Let's talk about movies. Well, I'm watching Marvel movies. Well, I want to talk about Casablanca. What music do you listen to? What do you think about the economy? I mean, you can't. And after a while, it's like I can't even talk to you. I don't even know what else we can do.
Especially if you do that. I think like the girls that want to settle down really quickly out of like high school, basically. Mm-hmm. Like my son, he's got friends that are having kids and getting married and shit already, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, what are you doing?
I mean, what's Bill Belichick doing? He's 73. Like the girls are 22.
But see, that's the thing. So you date that girl at 22 or whatever, and you commit her, and now she is done.
Yeah.
Going out with her friends, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so eventually she's gonna want to do all that.
She's gonna have to come around back way.
It might take her till she's in her 30s.
Yeah. And because they always come back to you and say, you took away part of my life.
Yeah. So then once she's in her 30s and he's 80,
exactly.
She's really not gonna want to be dealing with that.
Yeah. She'd probably just put him in a room someplace. You won't know where he's at.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. That age discrepancy is large enough that she'd be fairly young when he died. So if she stuck around for the money.
But she's missing your really, really good years. That 20 to 30 period. That's the sweet spot. Same with athletics, same with life. The 20 to 30, you can't. I think about my 20s and 30s, which I can remember still. I think it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
From what I can remember.
No, I had a good run.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. My entire, I mean, up until I got married the second time.
Yeah.
I had a good
if God came down right now and said, okay, I'm gonna put you back at a certain period, where would you stop at? Where would you want to be? And it's not even one of those, if you know now what you know then now. No, I mean, you're not any more smarter. You're just back at a period.
Like to start, like you start over right there.
Yeah. Where would you?
Maybe it's hard. Well, it's hard to say because so just go back to when you were having the best time.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, it'd have to be something to where you got to know a little bit more, because I would like to go back to when I was 12 and say to myself, work harder at sports so you get better at sports. You know what I mean? Because I kind of, after my brother died, I kind of gave up for a while there, and then when I finally got into it, I didn't play as well as I wanted to. I wish I was a better athlete than I was. But if you go back and you don't have that knowledge, you're just back at that period, I'd probably do the same fucking thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
If you take that out, then it's So if it's what I know now type shit, I'd say about 16.
Yeah.
But if I have to go back and not have any knowledge of anything later, then I'd go to where, I don't know. I'd probably start before my son was born.
Yeah.
And I would hopefully not get with his mom.
so you eventually just want to wipe Billy off?
No, I want him to still be there. I want him to be like later.
Yeah, okay. Well, like my daughter, like I think about the fact that everything to me. But sometimes I feel I had her. My wife was 29, I was 39.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes that I had her too late. I wish I'd had her earlier so I could.
When you had more energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you had her when you had more money.
Yeah, and was a lot smarter than
100%. You were. I promise you.
Yeah.
You were a way better dad than me.
Oh, I for the mere fact that if I had
just
had her,
maturity, why you were just more ready.
10 years earlier, I would have stayed on the road more.
Yeah.
I'd probably been more successful, but on the other hand, I would have stayed on the road more and
try to make more money,
and I would have missed the things. I was lucky in the fact that I probably hurt my career, but on the other hand, I got to watch everything my daughter did, and and as I look back on it, I wouldn't change that for the world.
Yeah, same thing for me. I would have moved, gone somewhere else.
Okay, let's play this game. Okay, now you can go back. And in your particular life, my particular life, you go back. Okay, where you go back to a certain period, where do you think you could have made a big change and changed your life completely? Like, where does Billy start in like the comedy world, and what would you done differently that right now Billy's not Billy Blank that you're as big as Bill Burr is? Like with me, if I could be as big as the Will, I never thought about that. Our show is Bill. We should just go by Bill Burr and Willie.
Yeah, no shit.
We'd have a whole lot more viewers.
All of a sudden, they think they're doing a podcast together.
Exactly.
Ripped off.
But yeah, so what would Billy Blank do different as far as to change your career? I know with me, I know exactly what I would have done different.
I would have been Bill Burr before he was Bill Burr.
There you go.
I couldn't have. He's 10 years older than me. He started way before me. But
do you think he would have just moved out to one of the coasts and stayed out there?
I don't know. I honestly don't know because I don't know that I would have had the balls.
Yeah.
But if you go back to when the reality show happened,
if
I would say if I wasn't married with a son, I may have tried to go out to LA after that show.
Yeah.
Or before that show even aired, I might have just went out there. And it wasn't like it wasn't anything I entertained anyway, just to go. It doesn't mean I had to stay there, but I never had the money to invest in my career.
Right.
Like I couldn't, I think we've talked about it before. Like I had to get paid fairly early or I couldn't keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
It just wasn't viable.
Yeah, you always hear, sometimes you always feel bad. You hear about the comics that you always hear the story of Jay Leno that I went out there and I lived in my car right outside the Comedy Store and you think to yourself, would I ever, I was never, my problem was when I got started, I got comfortable way too easy. Because I started doing corporates when I first started. So I never made huge money, but I always made good money to where I didn't have to. But to talk about what I would have done if I wanted to do, back in the early 2000s, I got offered a show in Vegas. I turned it down. The guy that took it went on to make millions of dollars, but also he destroyed himself. He became a horrible gambler and had IRS problems.
Because he was in Vegas the whole time.
Yeah.
And you think you may have done the same?
I might have done that. But that would have been a major change. I would have. Yeah, I think
that's probably a good thing to tell yourself is that you would have just fucked it up.
Exactly. Don't think I don't, everyone. Every time I go out to Vegas, I'm thinking I could have been.
I could have been a contender.
Yeah, that's the ticket. I could have been a big star.
I could have fucking
married to Morgan Fairchild. Yeah, that's the ticket.
It's weird because I don't know that I would have ever lived in my car in order to do comedy because being famous was never the goal for me.
Yeah.
The goal for me was just to eat and feed my kids.
Yeah, exactly.
I just wanted to pay my bills doing what I wanted. That to me was success. I didn't fame and fortune to me was something that would have just happened on its own.
Let me ask you a question.
I was hoping it would happen on its own.
If you had to choose between the fame and the fortune, which one do you choose?
One or the other?
Yeah.
Well, how could you be famous and not have
I'm just saying, you could become
I'd rather have the money.
Yeah, I'd rather take the fortune. I mean, I always there were times when I would say to myself, if I ever won the lottery, you might not ever see me on stage again. But as I've gotten older, I found that that's not true. I mean, I still like to be on stage, but not a lot. I mean, I'm happy if I can do a show like once a month. I could. I mean, I don't need that, but I still do crave it every once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's more about, I think at this point, I would rather have the money. I never really sought the spotlight. You know what I mean? If I get in a room with a bunch of comics, I'm probably the last guy that will talk. I never. It's not that. That's not my DNA.
Yeah, you've never been that when we had our party, because John Bush has often talked about me holding court.
Yeah,
at the comic park.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there's Bill Blake's holding the court in the corner. I'm like, what are you even talking about?
I mean, yeah, I've never been. I mean, we've been around comics and famous comics at the Funny Bone, and sometimes they just can't turn it off. They just keep going and going.
Sure.
And I mean, I've never been like that. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's not in my DNA, and I never really, I'll never go to a comedy club, and if somebody said, "Hey, you want to get up on stage?" That's never appealed to me.
Yeah, I don't care about that either.
No,
like,
no. And it never did.
Hey, why don't you do a guest set?
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. You guys go ahead. It's your show.
Yeah, even when I was younger and even more hungry, that never was. No.
My favorite is guys that do guest sets and then stand outside to greet the audience afterwards. That fucking kills me. Hey, thanks for coming. Hey, thanks for coming. Shake everybody's hand. Thanks for coming out. That fucking kills me when guys do that. The fucking guest set. I don't even do that when I MC shows. I go sit at the fucking bar.
I just feel obligated to do it. I mean,
well, when you're the headliner,
I feel
like when I feature, and even actually when I feature, I don't even do it unless I'm selling merch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't.
But here, the last probably 2 years, I haven't sold merch after shows.
Yeah.
So I literally
you sold a ton of merch too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was like sometimes
I've made way more on merch.
Exactly. Yeah.
But and it was just a t-shirt, dumb t-shirt. But it's
do you still sell? You ever do it anymore at all? Even when you go to the Bone, you ever?
No. I haven't had any more made.
Yeah.
The thing is, the problem with the t-shirt is I have to do the joke.
Yeah.
The joke's fucking 25 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's me. I don't say some Italian get in the trunk. Still got those t-shirts left, but I just staying it out of my mouth makes me ill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, in a way, it's to challenge myself.
Yeah.
To just not do the fucking joke.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that kind of almost hurt my career a little bit. Yeah. Was like stuff like that, where it was like I was more concerned with this t-shirt. I was afraid to do a different shirt because that shirt made me so much money.
No, let me ask you a question. When you sold that shirt, did you find at any given time that where you placed the joke in your act helped sell the t-shirt? I mean, if you said it in the middle of the act, or if you waited till the end and just pulled it up and said the joke then, did it matter as far as what made the shirt sell more?
When I was featuring, I would sometimes close my show with my sales pitch.
Yeah.
Like, I would do the bit and then maybe one more joke.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would do the sales pitch.
Yeah.
And I would make jokes during the sales pitch and not do like this big closer thing.
Yeah.
And just let the headliner come on stage.
And that's another weird thing about selling merch sometimes. I mean, I've done times where I thought I had show and go outside and just either I back in the days I had cassettes or I had a CD and just a men's show, and I would solo. And there were times when I would just standing ovation, and you go out there and
sell nothing.
Yeah, didn't make any sense.
I counted on $100 a show.
Yeah,
basically 5 shirts. I sold them for $20.
Yeah,
I counted on.
What's the most you ever sold in one night?
One night, I couldn't really tell you. Yeah. I could tell you a week.
Yeah, what's the most?
I think I did 1,600.
Jesus.
And that was 6 shows.
Wow.
Like 4 days.
How nice is that?
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Have you ever worked with JJ Walker? Dynamite?
one time, but I was, it was at the old club here. I was just like hosting.
He still got one of my sport coats. I did a show with him. I did a corporate
fucking shit.
I did a corporate show with him. Mark Johnson used to have the Funny Bone.
Yeah.
We did a corporate show, and he was working the Bone. I was working the Bone. He said, "You guys want to do a corporate show?" Yeah. So we go there, and Mark's go. He doesn't have a sport coat, and he's kind of a dressy. Was it before insurance? I said, "Yeah." So at the time he wasn't. He used to be really, really, really skinny when he was on Good Times, but then not at the time at the thing, which was like 30 years ago. He was about my size, about a 40 regular. So I said, okay. So I thought, well, I'll get him. I gave him this. I can remember the coat. It was a Hugo Boss herringbone, black and white coat. It's gorgeous. At the time, I don't know what I paid for it, maybe $700. And so I brought it to him, and he put it on. He did the show, and we laughed and everything. And the end of the night come, and I'm thinking about it, so I leave. And so the next day, I call Mark Johnson. I said, "Where's my coat?" He goes, "Oh, he said he took it to the dry cleaners." He never fucking took it to the dry cleaners. I never got the coat back.
The motherfucker kept your coat.
Yeah, Hugo Boss.
Dynamite.
Yeah. But the funny thing about him was, like I was to say, he would never. He would get pissed if you asked him to say it. He wouldn't say it during the show, but
and he charged money.
Yeah, afterwards, then he would sell the Dynamite shirts, and that was it. People were, and I mean, he sold a ton of them.
He said, I remember it was like an extra $500 for him to say Dynamite or something on stage.
Crazy.
Yeah, and he was one of those guys that was just pissed off.
Yeah,
all the time. He was angry all the time.
I mean, he was. I'll tell you another guy that kind of threw me for a loop. And this is back talking about the '80s, the Funny Bones. The guy, the Police Academy guy,
Michael Winslow.
Yeah, I remember one night we went out, and we all went out, and we were having a good time. And we went to, at the time, it was Hooters on 86th Street.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting there, and we're all having a good time. And he was talking, we're having fun, and someone came over, and they were polite, and they basically just wanted a picture and all. And he got mad and said, "God damn it, I'm eating. Can't you see what?" I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, you make fucking whistle noises with your mouth, dude. Come on.
And you're at fucking Hooters in Des Moines. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, stop acting.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like he got mad as a show.
Yeah.
To like you guys. He wanted you guys to think it happens all the time.
Yeah. I'll tell you the one thing I learned.
Can't go anywhere.
When I first started in the early 80s, I did a show. There was a Richelli's mainliner on Fleur, and I opened up the show for a guy named Fabian. You know who Fabian was?
One name guy? Just Fabian?
He was Fabian. He was back in the 50s and 60s. He was a teen idol. He had the hair. He had a song.
No fucking
he could
clue.
barely sing. You could look him up. Fabian had a song. I can't remember what the song was, but he could barely sing, but he was just a good-looking young guy, teen idol, and he used to travel with like Frankie Avalon and all these old teen idols, Bobby Rydell. But he would do the show, and these old ladies would come up, and they would just fawn over him, and he treated everybody like $1 million. And I remember a couple of times it was just like, give him a break. And he's like, dude, he said, you've seen, I'm okay. He said, I'm a good looking guy that I can barely hold a tune. He said, God bless these people. He said, I hope they bother me forever. I mean, he understood exactly where he stood in the new music industry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I appreciated that. I thought, you know what? Okay.
100%.
It's like comedy, like what we do. How many times you go to a club and like a comic will get mad because the sound ain't right, or there's a heckler, or it's like, dude, we're telling fucking jokes.
And they get mad at the fucking club.
How can you get mad? I'll tell you, I've never actually been mad inside a comedy club. I mean, there's nothing to be mad about.
I've been mad.
You've been mad? I said, well, like what? Give me for an instance. I'll tell you if you have a reason.
It was I know I've told you this. I know you know this story. It was the Cedar Falls.
Oh, with Dana T. When
I watched the whole bachelorette party. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I kind of like that. It's not so much mad as you just wanted to make a statement. I think it was funny. You walked everybody. I think it was
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I decided to have my own good time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I mean, you were just mad because it's situation. I just don't understand. Yeah. I mean, it's
like I was pissed off that they didn't do anything. They just let them keep acting like that.
You know what? There's nothing a comic dreads the words more than there's a bachelorette party.
It's enemy number one.
Oh my God. And especially if you look out and you see the glasses with the penis nose and the penis straws.
The flashing lights and the fucking...
My God.
And I have to admit, I have had a couple in recent years that have been pretty well behaved. Like, I feel like they've gotten to where they kind of know, but the thing is, being where we're at, you know, we do obviously a lot of shows in Des Moines.
Yeah.
With the West Des Moines Funny Bone, and that a bachelorette party that's going to go to the West Des Moines Funny Bone is typically a bunch of fucking young white girls.
Yeah.
And probably pretty, right?
Yep.
So is there anything worse or more entitled at a comedy club than a drunk, pretty white girl?
Yeah, that's paid $20 a piece, so they feel like they already are.
That is the fucking trifecta of doom.
Yeah.
At a comedy club is a drunk, pretty white girl because they think the world fucking revolves around them. So now put them in a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Now they really think that.
And our appetizers didn't come in time.
Yep. And everything leading up to it. Yeah. Everything leading up to the time that they got to the club has been about her.
Yeah.
100% about her. Yeah. And the fucking wedding party. And everything's been about their fucking woo. Yeah. Everything.
And they're upset if the comic doesn't make the whole show about
her.
And then she's upset when the comic does because he didn't do it exactly the way she wanted. Yeah. So you can't
because what he did was try to get him to shut the fuck up. Exactly. Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're already drunk when they get there. Oh. I mean, those are the number one I guarantee if you pulled comedy club managers.
Yeah, it'd have to be.
The number one person.
If we're on Family Feud, that would be
who gets kicked out of comedy clubs the most. Drunk pretty white girl.
Show me drunk pretty white girl.
Yep. And now tell me who is the least accountable when this happens. Drunk pretty white girl. Yeah. They're kicking us out. We were just laughing at the jokes.
Exactly.
They're kicking us out for laughing. That's what they always say.
Yeah, yeah.
We're at the comedy. We're laughing at the jokes.
Yeah.
Why are you kicking us out for laughing?
Do you know who my father is?
It's always, and it's like, you don't know how drunk and stupid you are right now. Like, you have no self-awareness. And it's not, I actually had this, I was sitting at the bar the last time I was at the club. And they were having issues with these two fucking drunk white girls. And these girls weren't even pretty. They just thought they were. So you don't have to be pretty. You just have to think you're pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
So drunk white girl who thinks she's pretty, fucking over with.
Yeah. And
they come up and, you know, I had already performed.
Yeah. So
I'm just sitting at the bar and they always try to come and get a drink at the bar because they get cut off inside. Exactly. So now they come up to the bar, and now the bartender tells them they have to get it from their server.
Yeah.
Because the show's started already. Our server won't come over. They keep telling us to be quiet. We're just laughing at the jokes. And the thing is, during my set, they weren't a problem.
Yeah.
Because they were just at that.
Yeah, there were so many drinks in at that point.
Yeah. And they did start. They did get chatty.
Yeah.
But they hadn't gone too far yet before I was done. You know, somebody said something probably to him during my set, and by the time something was said to him and the time I wrapped up was probably nothing happened, right? So anyway, so then they're asking me like, well, what are they? We love. First of all, we loved you. Yeah. You were great.
Sure. And get you on their side.
Yeah. But why? We're just laughing at the jokes, and I don't understand. And I go, well, I'm going to guess. Can I guess? And I go, I'm going to guess that he did a joke what was the joke that you liked, right? Oh, he did this joke, and we were just laughing because that's what it was. She was talking about, he did this joke about whatever, and we were just laughing at the joke. And I go, okay, but did you laugh at the joke and then listen to the next joke?
Exactly. Yeah.
Or did you laugh at the joke and then say to her that reminds you of so-and-so, or that's just like you at your table, and now you fucking break off in your and laughter and conversation
exactly
about that joke for the next 2 minutes while everyone else is trying to move on.
Did you ever see the old Seinfeld episode where Kramer brings that girl laughing and Jerry's telling the jokes and she's going, "You're so right." Oh, that is
I vaguely kind of know.
That's that. Yeah,
100%. I was helping.
They get out of the rhythm of the entire show. They break the rhythm of the show,
and they have no fucking clue.
No.
They are blissfully unaware of how rude and fucking stupid they are.
And it's going to happen at every comedy club, at every show that you're going to see at least once in a while. You're going to see it. You're going to see it's going to happen.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
No. That, and the bad part is that, hopefully you get people that'll police them around them. I mean, I've had that with a shush.
Yeah.
And sometimes that turns into a bad thing.
They
don't even work here. And they're telling me to be quiet.
Or they start fighting.
Yeah.
Dude, I was in Richmond, Virginia, and motherfuckers started fighting. They turned the lights on.
Yeah.
They turned the house lights on. And have you ever been to the Richmond?
No.
Funny Bone? No. So there's this
Virginia?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm guessing we've got some people there.
I wish I could remember this doorman's name. He's the coolest fucking dude. Just super old school dude. He has a notebook that he has every comic sign.
Oh,
He's got this notebook with all the comic signatures in it and shit. I feel bad that I don't remember his name because I fucking love the guy, but it's been so long. I want to say his name's Tim. I don't know, just super old school. Like he reminds those like if you grew up on the north side, there was always like an old school like black dude coaching the football to help him coach football or something. That still he looked pretty athletic still.
He doesn't have a regular name. Does he have nicknames like Jimbo or something like that?
He's like older,
Mm-hmm.
And like the thing, this dude always had gloves on.
Yeah.
Like not like
they had the fingers missing though.
Yeah,
like the weightlifter gloves.
Yeah, but not with the padding. I don't think. I don't know what the deal was with him always having gloves on, but he had his gloves on and he checked people in. He was a nice guy, and this pipe breaks out in the back and you can hear it. I can't, you can't see the back corner. It's in the back corner. You can't see that from the stage.
Yeah.
Well, they turn the house lights on.
Oh, wow.
And when they turn the house lights on, here's that doorman fucking just squared up with this dude.
Oh, fantastic.
And then he comes up, like it kind of whatever happens, and they get the guy out, pull the guy out of there, whatever. I started doing commentary, like I was doing the fight.
I had something similar to that happen to me.
And I think I just fucking down goes Fraser or something. I just started screaming some dumb shit like that. And then I remember he came up on stage and asked me for the microphone.
Yeah.
And he was like, and he was shake, he was like,
that
adrenaline, And he was just like, y'all came here to see him. You didn't come here to deal with that, and they all fucking cheered or whatever. I was opening for Brandon T. Jackson.
Oh, okay.
And nobody was there to see me at all.
Yeah. So I had this is real early in my career. I'm at there was a hotel right off the interstate by Coralville, by Iowa City. And I get there to do the show that night with another comic, and there's people already in there drinking. This is the early 80s, so they don't really know how they're supposed to work this thing out. And there's a bunch of U-Haul guys in there, and they're drinking, they're getting drunk. And this one guy's already drunk, and his name's Bob because he's got a U-Haul shirt on that says Bob. So he's getting drunk, and he says, "You comic? Comic, we're have some fun tonight."
You funny?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, okay, I'll go. So now I'm getting ready to go on stage, and in the front row, there's these two rough-looking dudes. Come to find out, they're the Bonacci brothers. They wrestled in Iowa. They were gold medalists, I think. Ed Bonacci, or I don't know if I'm saying the name right, Bonacci or Bonacci. Just old. They were wrestlers, and they were already. They were probably in their late 20s, maybe 30s by then.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in the front. So I get on stage. I'm starting to do my show, and everything's funny. All of a sudden, drunken Bob U-Haul guy starts yelling at me. So the lights are up and I could see him. So I start getting back at him. So I'm starting to make fun of him. And everybody's laughing and everything. And I'm watching him. And I could see, now I'm keep doing the show. And he's standing
starting
there.
to get a little bit pissed
off.
Yeah.
I could see as I'm going along, I'm not talking to him anymore. But I could see he's so drunk. It's taking a while for everything to register what I said.
The wheels are turning.
And I can just see him getting madder and madder. All of a sudden, like a vein in his forehead pops out. And I'm looking over at him and he goes, I'm going to kick your fucking ass. So he gets up and he starts coming towards the stage. I got the microphone stand and I was about ready to tell the people in the back to stop him. And one of the brothers, Ed Bonacci or something, said, let him come. So I said, all right. So he comes up, he gets close to the stage and these two guys grab him, these wrestlers.
Just fucking make him into a pretzel.
Oh my God. It was, and I'm on stage going, oh, yeah, suplex. They just fucked him up. And the funny thing is, they finally stopped him. So they stopped the show and they bring him back. When he finds out that who they are, he couldn't have been fucking happier. He took
I got fucking back that part of me on you,
brother. Fool Nelson put on me my golden fucking
motherfucker.
Oh God. Yeah, that was like 40 years ago that happened.
That reminds me of the first time I met Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was
little heathen.
I didn't know he was Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah. That was a bad man.
Oh, dude. We'll get into that. I'll tell you this
UFC
story first.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this story first. But anyway, so his cousin, well, I'm really good friends with his uncle.
Okay.
But I just didn't.
Was Jeremy Stevens from the North Side, or where's he from?
Nah, I feel like he went to Norwalk.
Okay.
But anyway, I mean, but he was East Side. Yeah. I mean, he kind of grew up on the East Side. I think he went to high school like at Norwalk. Maybe even started like at East.
Kind of like you guys, dirty neck little sumbitch. Yeah. It's that PJ would say.
Yeah.
Dirty neck sumbitch. Okay.
Dirty neck.
Yeah.
So he I knew who he was, but I wouldn't have at the time. I wouldn't have known him like as soon as I saw him or anything.
Yeah. He's not real intimidating looking because he's not that big.
No, he's only 5'8", or something like that.
But maybe 140, maybe.
So anyway, he's with his cousin who is friends with my brother, and I see him at this club downtown, and I see my brother's buddy. So I go up and give him and start busting his balls.
Yeah.
As I'm walking up, him and Jeremy do like this handshake, which I don't know, but I just walked up and told him it was fucking gay.
There you go.
I was like, dude, it's like there's few things gayer than a couple grown men having a fucking special handshake. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? And Jeremy looked at him and looked like, and fucking, he goes, "Oh, dude, he's cool." Like, no, he started laughing, you know.
That's when you hear the Samuel Jackson voice, and this is when Billy knew he fucked up.
Yeah. But then, you know, it was all good after that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I ran into him. I knew him from other stuff here and there over the years after that. But anyway, he fought bare knuckle this past weekend.
Oh, really?
And
he's still fighting.
Yeah. He broke this dude's jaw.
Jesus.
He fought oh God, what was the guy's name? Alvarez, was it? Antonio Alvarez or
what? Like who's it? What's it like sanctioned by? Which is like
Conor McGregor owns it.
Oh, okay.
Bare knuckle fighting championship.
That Paige Van Zandt, that little hot chick, she's a bare knuckle fighter. Too.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It's BKFC. It's called.
Oh, okay.
So him and this dude were the main event. They fought in Philly.
Jesus, how insane do you gotta be?
It was sold out.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, this is the most brutal shit.
Oh yeah,
everybody gets knocked out. Everybody.
Because
everybody.
It's right in the title, bare knuckle.
These fights are over and nobody gets out alive. Like everybody I don't care if you won the fight. You've got 2 black eyes, fucking cut forehead.
Everybody's fucking hands broken. Dude, everybody's hands broken.
It is
just a bunch of broken hands is all there is. Jeez.
It's just blood flying everywhere. Dude, these guys, I think there's about 8 or 9 fights before his fight.
Yeah.
And like couple dudes just they were asleep on their feet.
Now, is it like boxing kind of rules where if you go down, or can you just?
It's basically boxing.
Okay, but still,
but with no gloves.
Bare fucking knuckles.
But like you can grab the back of their head.
Oh, grab the back of their
head. Yeah, because that dude kept kept doing that to Jeremy, and I was like, "Is that must be legal? Like, let him keep doing it."
Well, when you think about it, they think like Conor McGregor, they put together so it's their thing, so they can make their rules, which is insane.
More or less.
Yeah, it's not Queensberry's rules. It's like
but you have to. Rules. You still have to like get a license. Like you have to. Every state has their athletic commission or whatever that you got to be registered with and all that.
Enough palms, I guess you can get away with something.
100%.
You ever watch? I mean, it's funny. I can remember Dwayne Clark used to send me these tapes of hobo fights back in the day. You ever seen those?
Yeah, well, that was like YouTube shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was fucked up. Those guys are like offering a couple guys $100 to kill each other.
When you get $100 to get a sandwich, they're fucking fighting each other over a hammer. And I watched them for a little bit. Then after a while, I went, "This is like watching pit bulls fight. I can't watch this shit." Yeah,
but I'm telling you, this bear. So Jeremy was like playing the heel, like he was like the villain. The dude he fought was from Philly.
Oh,
and the guy he fought was a UFC champ. He ended up a champ in some division, but he didn't have very many UFC fights, if I recall. Like I feel like he only had like 10 UFC fights, and Jeremy has like 40.
Oh yeah.
And in fact, Jeremy, I don't know if it's still the case, but like he had like the most fights, career fights of anybody or something.
He's a little heathen.
Yeah. That's a big deal, dude. UFC to have the most.
You know what? It's like they talk about, I grew up in a different era. These people nowadays, I mean, when I was a kid growing up, I mean, there were guys who were badasses, guys who were tough, but I mean, for the most part, you kind of, and then, they went through the period where people were just guns and knives, so you stayed away from them.
Yeah.
But now these are trained. There's a 14-year-old girl out there somewhere that would fuck you up so bad in a minute. You know what I mean? That you wouldn't, I mean, you could be in like a Dave and Buster's and step in front of this little girl, this bitch, and fuck you up.
Fucking tie you up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
it's because
they're trained.
They have to be multifaceted. Yeah, like they have to be able to wrestle. They have to do jiu-jitsu.
Well, that's the thing about it is it's
kick.
Out of all of them, when you talk to UFC, they say what's the number one discipline? You would think it would be striking, and it's not. It's the wrestling.
It's wrestling, jiu-jitsu, submission.
Because it's funny because you get in one of them wrestlers, and all he needs is just get if he gets your pinky, if he can grab your pinky, you're fucking dead.
Well, like. That's why I feel like this bare knuckle shit is tailor made for Jeremy because he in his weight class, he's the hardest hitting dude. Like, and
well, it's Conor McGregor. That was his thing. I mean,
nobody can take him down. Yeah, and so that's the deal. So after anyway, he's like he got booed. The weigh-ins, like everybody's booing him, and he fucking. He talked all the shit about Philly and shit. He's like, fuck Philly. He's like,
wow.
Shit. He's like,
I gotta see it. I gotta find it on YouTube.
And he, I'll show it to you. I got it. And he, so he knocks the dude out. Well, actually, what happened was I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah.
But the dude didn't come out for the next round.
Oh, just it was cool. He's he listened.
It was, but turns out he broke his jaw. There's I'll show you the picture. They showed his X-ray, dude. It got like right down the side. It's completely separated. But that guy was favored to win the fight. Yeah. And then after Jeremy won the fight, he got up on the ropes and was like, go like this to the crowd.
Oh, God.
Started flapping his fucking like fly eagles fly and shit.
People snowballs like, Santa Claus. He's lucky he didn't get fucking
dude, it was fucking great.
You wonder Conor McGregor. He's a
but so he challenged Conor McGregor.
Holy shit!
And so McGregor gets in the ring, And
really?
Afterwards, like when they're doing the post-fight interviews and stuff, and McGregor gets in the ring, and he's like, "Make the date" or whatever, and they get like face to face, like head to head, like let's go.
What? There was one of them. I don't know if it was Jeremy. I don't know if it was him or whoever. A while back, there was a UFC press conference, and one of them, a guy from Iowa, said something to Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor said, "Who in the?"
That's exactly. It was Jeremy.
It was Jeremy.
And when Conor,
when Conor, who in the fuck are you?
Yeah. And when Conor came in the ring the other night, he goes, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Like, they did it. They said it. Jeremy said it, I think.
Oh yeah.
And so then, and then later on, Jeremy trolled him. I don't know if you remember this or not, but it was like maybe, I don't know, several months, maybe even a year later. Jeremy got his picture taken with Conor McGregor's mom.
Yes, I remember that.
Your mom knows who the fuck.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Now you wonder, since Conor's a guy that's a former fighter, you wonder if the pay was good. You hope at least.
He said he took a pay cut.
No, see, you wonder.
But he was saying, "Pay me my fucking money afterwards." Like he basically took a pay cut for that fight, and he's like, "The next fight, I want."
Because that's why everybody gives Dana White a hard time. It's because they say he doesn't pay his fighters enough money.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Dana White's like, "Fuck all he is. I don't care."
I don't think the fight it was like in the press conference afterwards. They asked Jeremy about fighting Conor McGregor or whatever. He just went cocaine Conor.
I mean, the only problem with that is he won't get the fight just for the fact that he's not. They're at the point now. The only way Conor's going to fight is if it's going to draw people, and it's got to be a big name. It's got to have to be.
Well, and also Conor was supposed to fight Logan Paul.
Yeah,
and that got ixnayed by Dana White. So
he's
still under contract with UFC in some way, shape, or form. So he's not going to be allowed.
That would make so much money. I was upset about that. I didn't watch it. I didn't pay for it. I didn't watch the. I didn't. It wasn't paid.
Logan Paul and Conor McGregor.
The Mike Tyson. I couldn't get it because my Netflix thing kept on going.
I know that happened to us too.
I didn't go back and watch it after I found out what happened because it breaks my heart. I mean, I'm a boxing aficionado. I love boxing.
Yeah.
It's just guys like Floyd Mayweather and Tyson are just they're just ruining. They're making boxing look like it's not that great a skill.
Yeah.
Even though they're older, it's still, I mean, it just makes it look like, oh, you're supposed to be the greatest of all time, and you go 12 rounds with Conor McGregor. And Mike Tyson, even though you're 60 years old, you're supposed to be one of the baddest man on planet Earth, and you got a YouTuber fucking beat you.
Right.
I mean, you can't let that happen.
I mean, he's 50.
Yeah, but still, you just can't let that happen.
But I think
for $40 million, I guess you let it happen.
Tyson had incentives for that.
Yeah,
because there's a video there's a point where he clearly let up.
Yeah.
He probably could have knocked him. It was like the first round, and he clearly did not hit him.
See it just to me it just wrecks the legacy. I'm sorry, it just does. Yeah. But that's like those baseball players that wouldn't like bat against Jenny Finch. It's like I'm not fucking striking out there. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, the thing is, like Jake Paul, he actually can fight a little bit. Like he's not.
Like they can fight.
Yeah, they're not complete chumps.
No. Plus, I think they're all steroided up anyway. I mean, so they're just not following any rules.
And that's probably part of it too. That's probably why they won't fight in real. Yeah. Fight.
Like take any kind of blood test or fuck, but I can't. You know what? In this day and age, I don't blame anybody. Go get your money, make your paper. That's what you got. Okay. Good for you.
I mean, there's plenty of people making plenty of money off the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
There's two people you can make money off of: dummies and rich people.
Yeah. And
basically, you do it with you exploit both of their laziness, more or less. Like rich people will pay you for shit they don't feel like doing, and poor people will just fucking pay you because they're stupid. No, but honestly, like it is. You can either. It was a lesson I tried to teach my son a long time ago. It's like you can either make money or save money on people's laziness.
Yeah,
you can count on it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, this world is it's so different. I have no idea, but I mean, like, I was born a little too early. I mean, I wish I learned I could manipulate the social media. That's it anymore. If you can understand how to do it, does I mean, look at how people are making money on all these different things. It doesn't matter. I watch a show where the people just gamble. I gamble myself, and I actually sit and watch other people fucking gamble. It's ridiculous.
You're like the version of the fucking kids watching videos of video games.
Exactly. It's crazy, but I mean that's what there's. You ever watched? I watched it the other night. The guy called Mr. Beast.
Yeah, I've been watching the Mr. Beast games.
Yeah,
it's fucking great.
They say he's worth close to $1 billion.
Yeah,
and I saw a thing on him about 5-6 years ago when at the time they said he was worth like 50 million. This is like 5-6 years ago, and he said at the time, I'm worth $50 million. He said, but I don't have any money because I put all my money back into what I videotape. For instance, I just watched one the other day where he had a guy. This is insane. He had a grocery store, a giant grocery store, like a Hy-Vee, and he filled it up all full of food and stuff. And he put a guy in there. And it's called Mr. Beast Grocery Store. He put a guy in there. He says, I'll give you $10,000 a day. And what you do is you live in here. You can't leave. And you throw a thing around there. And every day I'm going to come and you have to pull $10,000 worth of merchandise out here and give it to me like you're selling it to me. And I'll give you $10,000. And he had grocery baskets full of $10,000. So the first day he comes in, he puts it in, and he sells them. And he said, you can stay in here as long as you want. So, and the guy stayed in there long enough to make $500,000. It was, and when you think about it,
for what?
I know, he just stayed in there.
I know, but for what? Why did the Beast guy come up with it? For what?
Oh, it's fucking insane. Just to see how long the guy had 2 little children. But I mean, he was in there, and then like you would watch him at night. Like he was a big grocery store, so he made a fort out of just a toilet paper, and you laid inside. And then during the day, he found some other it was like a Target. So then he made it indoor. He had an indoor pool, and he put that in there, and he was laying in the pool. And then he has every night he had to go in and find $10,000 worth of stuff to sell back to Mr. Beast. And he has to scan everything. Yeah.
So it had to fucking add up to 10 grand.
Exactly.
Like legit.
But the guy lasted 51 days or something.
That's great.
I mean, you got to watch. I mean, he does shit like that all the time. Like he was doing things where he had asked people a question. If they answered, he gave them a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Insane. And this is all from social media. This is a guy that figured out people will watch me do this shit.
This Mr. Beast Games thing.
Yeah.
Did you watch like the first episode?
No.
Oh, you got to watch this.
Yeah.
This is fucking insanity.
Yeah.
So I think it starts out with 5,000 people.
Yeah.
And they all get to this place, and the last person remaining at the end is going to get $5 million.
Yeah.
But throughout the game, so they have to eliminate 4,999 people, right?
Yeah.
So your odds out of the gate are 1 in 5,000.
Yeah.
So it's fucking at the very beginning, they divide into 4 groups.
Mm-hmm.
And each group elects one person to go stand. And basically what he does is try to bribe people to quit or to. So he's like, there's going to be a dollar amount that's going to keep growing.
Yeah.
And at any given time, any one of those 4 people can hit a button and take home that dollar amount.
Yeah.
But it eliminates everyone. So they basically eliminate over 1,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they go home with that money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 4 people stand up there, and that fucking dollar amount gets to $1 million.
Well,
and none of them take it.
Jesus.
I would have been like, fuck all 1,000 of you motherfuckers. My odds are 1 in 5,000, and I can go with $1 million right now. Yeah. Fucking game over for all you. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. And by the way, if any one of them is like married with kids, how do you go home to your wife?
Yeah.
If you better win that whole fucking competition.
That was like the guy in the grocery store. He had these 2 little kids, and he's like, I'm paying for fucking college.
Yeah.
Every day.
How do you fucking go home to your wife if you didn't take $1 million? I know any fucking relationship I've ever been in my life would have been like, you left $1 million.
She walks the other room. She got the laundry. You're laying on the couch. So you're laying on the couch. You can lay on the couch on that fucking island too.
Yeah. We could have had $1 million. You could have laid on the couch all you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Just lay on the couch on the island.
I couldn't. I still can't believe it.
Yeah. But I mean, that Mr. BC's the guy. He was one of the guys that figured out a long time ago how to. Yeah. Well, it's like with comics when you talk about who's the first guy. It was Dane Cook.
Yeah.
He was
Facebook.
It was on MySpace.
That's right, MySpace.
Yeah. And he figured out, and that's well, like you said, how many times you go to the Funny Bone and they tell you, oh, you're not working this week because Joe Blow, the TikTok guy's here this week. You just got to learn how to. Well, actually, that's what we're trying right now. We're on here right now, and hopefully somebody's watching us and thinking this is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the idea behind something like this is to hopefully have it gain legs to where you can monetize it, I guess. And then, a lot of the more famous comics now, they're making more money on their podcasts.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, some of them are on like Bill Burr's on like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. And you got, like Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. They each got 2 or 3 different,
they have a name for, I can't remember the name for it. The Bear Cave.
Two bears, one cave.
Yeah.
Tom and his wife, Christina, have Your Mom's House.
So it's like, how do these guys, I mean, how do they even go out and work anymore? It's like this seems like they're.
Well, but they don't have to. They don't have to do a podcast every day.
Yeah, so they just kind of do it when they can.
I mean, we do it once a week.
Yeah.
They still, they get up on stage and they go do shows. And they get paid a lot to do shows.
Yeah, it's funny if you watch like every once in a while I'll turn on Jimmy Fallon. And did you see, because they always bring new comics, and every time lately, when he holds up the thing, usually it would be like where they were performing, but lately he holds it up and says, "This is so and so," and you can see them on their podcast, and that's what they, instead of saying what club they're at, they just say what their podcast is, which would really help you. Yeah, somebody put it up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because who gives a shit?
Yeah,
they're already selling out that club.
Yeah. Your club Yucks and wherever.
Yeah, that's already happening.
But if you got a million people watching that and go, okay, this kid was funny. Let's see what his podcast is on.
100%. Where are we at? We should probably take a break. Let's take a break, and we will be back. Are you there? Are you there, Andrew?
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com.
When energy meets precision, anything is possible.
I'm Carter Hawley, the Chief Energy Officer of the Iowa State Cyclones. I'm full of energy on and off the court, but nothing gives me more energy than helping families find their dream home. And that's where Green Beret Realty comes in. They're more than just realtors. They're a team dedicated to getting things right for you and your family, just like we get it right on the court.
No basket. That was on the floor before the shot. Out of bounds.
Come on! Can you believe that? You can't take that away from me.
That call was absolutely terrible. Are you guys cautiously trying to be this bad? I mean, does your mom not love you?
Have you seen how old my partner is? My back hurts already from carrying him all night. And I've heard enough out of you.
So you're gone.
Fine.
Jim, are you blind? Basket's good. We've got a 3-pointer. Sometimes it takes a team to get the call right. And when you're buying a home, you want a team that makes all the right calls. That is Green Beret Realty. And here's the best part. When you buy or sell a home through Dan at Green Beret Realty and mention this ad, he'll make a donation to the We Will Collective, helping student athletes like me thrive on and off the court.
That call's so easy, even we can make it.
Green Beret Realty, because getting the call right means everything.
He remembers him.
Yo. There we are.
Yo, what's up? I'm here.
What's up?
All right. We are I'm filling in for Chris. It's not Chris tonight, so you guys are stuck with me here tonight.
Yeah, no, we're good. We just wanted
He looks like an apostle. If an apostle wore glasses.
Yeah, this is Andrew. This is Andrew, everybody. Andrew, what's your podcast? Tell everybody what your podcast is.
Yeah, I'm one of the co-hosts of Hawk's Eye View here on Three Beards Media. So every Thursday at 6 p.m., Drew Shipley and I talk everything Iowa sports related every week. So we
you going to Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement on Sunday?
Oh gosh, I wish I had the money for that. I wish I had the money to be there. No, I'm probably not going to make it to that one. I'll just have to settle for watching on TV.
How much are you guys talking about how bad our basketball team fucking sucks?
Yeah, it's been a rough couple weeks on the podcast.
Dude, we have got to stop. I had a buddy today. It was funny. My friend Spencer he's by far my most hilarious non-comic friend.
Yeah.
We laugh so fucking hard when we talk on the phone because he can talk like in satire and he gets it and he will just, and he knows I'll get it, you know? So like I said something about the game last night, you know, so what'd you think? He goes, well, you know, Billy, I think, you know, the guys, they go on the road and you expect them, you know, they've been straight. You expect them to come and play with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, you know, and you didn't get that out of them, you know, and I'm fucking cracking up, and I'm just like, yeah, because you don't get a lot of guys with chips on their shoulders out of Waukee, Iowa.
That's right.
They don't tend to fucking have that chip.
They don't seem to know how to D up.
They were fucking 6'7", and their parents paid for them to play a lot of basketball. But trust me, they don't have a fucking chip on their shoulder.
Exactly.
Peyton Sanford needs to read the Bible before the game, not at halftime. Do you think me and my brother were laughing our fucking asses off because what was that? Was that Nebraska that he had 30 in the second half? Or
yeah. That was Nebraska where he had 30 in the second half, and he said he
the whole first half had 30 in the second half. Yeah. And afterwards he said that he went and read some Bible verses and stuff at halftime. And I already know, like, just by his demeanor on the court and stuff, I guarantee you he was reading like Bible verses that made him feel tough. Like he was in there like, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, like he's reading shit like that.
The 11th commandment, thou shalt not pass.
Jesus has got me. He's like banging on his chest. Jesus got me.
Thou shalt not pass.
Yeah, he's probably going for Ephesians 6, putting on the full armor of God, all that kind of thing.
You what? He's probably what?
He's probably going for Ephesians 6, put on the full armor of God.
Is that what that is?
Full armor of God and got back out there. Did his thing.
Oh,
the Lord is my teammate. He shall set a screen.
Oh boy.
Peyton 316 says, "I just dropped 30 on your ass."
Okay. What does Austin 316 say?
So I got in this huge I got in a Facebook argument not too long after the Wisconsin game. After Wisconsin beat us by 30. I just said that I will be shocked if this team doesn't make the tournament this year. I think there's a strong possibility Fran's gone. Like, and I don't say that because I don't love Fran McCaffrey, because I do. I always have. I've fucking defended that dude. But like you watch everything right now. Mm-hmm. I think just the apathy of the fan base. Like I feel like Beth Getz is kind of like. And I don't know.
The fan base is enough that he should be gone.
But I feel like there's a little bit of apathy on his part.
Without a doubt.
I'm not seeing the same body language on the sidelines. I'm not. Now I don't know if maybe Beth Getz told him to tone it down, maybe.
His entire family has abandoned him. Okay.
Yeah.
Picked his shit up and moved to Indianapolis. Your daughter-in-law's there now.
Yeah, I will be shocked if they don't make the like they're definitely not making the fucking tournament at this point. Like they don't even have a single quad 1 win, I don't think.
No, they don't. So my theory is a mutual parting of ways at the end of the season.
Yeah, so, it won't be like a firing type thing. It'll be just kind of.
Do you try to sweeten the pot and get DeFreeze back here?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You throw the fucking.
Yeah, I think so.
Checkbook at that, dude.
Yeah, I know.
And what I've heard
is we go get if we can't get him, we go get the fucking guy that's at Drake right now.
Oh yeah, he's kicking ass too.
I'm nervous. We talked about all this last week on the podcast. I'm a little bit nervous about that possibility.
Yeah.
I'm not. Fuck, he's winning with D2 guys.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. It gives me a little bit of
pulling guys out of they're out of.
But you're right. Like I always the mid-major thing is always a jump that it's bigger than people think it is. Because you look at like, God, who was that fucking kid that we had for 4 years that never did a fucking thing and then went to Drake and scored 30 a game?
Yeah.
The white kid from Wisconsin, 3-point shooter.
Brady Ellingson.
Brady, yeah. He had like one good game at Iowa, but then went to Drake and was like the leading scorer because he's playing in the fucking Missouri Valley.
It's a whole different ballgame.
But anyway, so I think Franz is done. But it's weird. We just signed some 4-star kid today. Yeah. So we're still signing kids.
I think what the thing is, I don't think the kids are as connected with the coaches as they used to be because they know they can leave too. You know what I mean? So. I think, hopefully these kids sign anymore because of the school and not the coach because they know the coaches are going to bounce around.
Dude told me last week that, or not last week, but when I got in that argument after the Wisconsin game, he was like, "What have you been watching? This is a Sweet 16 team." And I was like, "Are you fucking out of here? How much basketball have you watched in your life?"
I could get 15 off those kids. And I'm fucking 70 years old.
And then he says to me, he goes, they're playing better defense than they've played since like 2017. He's one of these guys.
That before what you call dropped? How much? 100?
Well, you know what it is. Wow. He's one of these guys that goes and looks up stats to say, and then he talks about how he backs his takes up with facts. Like, who the fuck do you think you're, Dan Patrick? Nobody gives a fuck about your takes. Yeah. And by the way, at the time that he has this argument with me, what was Wisconsin like? Our second or third Big Ten game of the season.
Yeah.
What was that? Yeah, right? So at the time he's telling me we're playing the best defense since 2017, we've been playing Bethune-Cookman up until now.
Exactly.
Like, of course our fucking defense is up.
Exactly.
Look at our fucking defense every single season, the first 5 games. Yeah. It's a hell of a lot better.
It really kind of snowballed. I mean, after the non-conference, once we got into Big Ten play, it kind of snowballed.
Oh yeah, when
playing D1 athletes,
I saw that coming from I mean, I saw that coming before the season even started. I thought we were going to have a tough year. I feel like Josh Dix is the only bona fide baller on that.
And when he's not balling, then you got problems.
And he was nothing last night. He had 0 points last night.
Yeah, he doesn't understand that he's the number one option. But
I don't think he does because it's supposed to be Peyton Sanford, which is a terrible number one option.
He's a number 3 option playing as a number 1.
I like Trowell. I like Traore. I think there's a lot of upside with Traore. Trowell, I wish we had him for a couple more years. But he's a great example of, and you don't know people's stories. He could have had some issues, or maybe just didn't develop quick enough. I don't know. But how does a kid like that, how has he not played for us for 4 years? How's he end up at Morehead State? How do these teams get these NBA guys? Yeah. I mean, Trowell's not on that level, but you look at like back in the day, like what was that guy's name? Fucking God Shamgod. Yeah. Where the fuck did he go? Like George Washington or something? How the fuck do these guys end up at these places? We can't get one of them.
Back then, I mean, if you couldn't get the grades, you had to go where you had to go.
And I think maybe there's something to be said there, but fuck me. Yeah. Like, I remember when Fran got pissed off at Gary Dolphin because there was some fucking game. Look at this. I think we were playing Pitt. Pitt had like this point guard that was just fucking killing us. And he's like, why can't we get one of these guys? Like he didn't know the mic was on or something.
Yeah, Dolph did do that, and he got suspended for a few games.
Yeah, he was like, instead we got I can't remember the kid's name. We got so and so fumbling the ball around on the fucking side.
Godzilla or somebody or
that was different. That was it was either Rutgers or I think it was Rutgers or Maryland. I don't know. They had a big guy at the end of a game that just killed us.
It was Maryland.
Yeah,
because he was talking about Bruno Fernando.
Yeah, he was like King Kong out there.
Yes, that was it.
That shit was hilarious. He got all kinds of, and it was. I remember that was a good lesson too for me because you start seeing the people that just go so hard at defending it.
Oh yeah,
it's like, well, wait a minute, like
you're taking this way out.
Yeah, like here's the rules. Like, if you don't know what the rules are, you can't call a black guy any kind of gorilla.
Right.
Whatsoever.
No.
You can't.
Right.
Just like you can't call Yao Ming Godzilla.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can call the black guy Godzilla, and you can call Yao Ming King Kong, but you can't do the
Oh man!
We could portray every Italian guy like Mario from Donkey Kong.
100%. Nobody cares.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah. No. You can call people that are on the white side of things whatever you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
But anybody else, you got to be real careful how you categorize your stereotypes.
You're sneaky athletic, Bill. You're sneaky.
Yeah, I'm a gym rat, coach's kid.
And we're the Cleveland Guardians and the Washington Commanders.
Yeah,
you're the first one in, and the last one to leave.
Always. First one in, last one out.
All right.
I'm a very cerebral player.
Yeah. You have high IQ.
Big time. What's Chris's Reddit? What did Chris leave us for today?
Chris left us with a couple things here tonight. But I just wanted to ask you guys, what's comic or maybe even TV show that was kind of a comedy that helped you find that spark when you first started out in comedy? I think you guys mentioned a few earlier, but I was just wondering, was there any particular comic or TV show that sparked you?
There's like a chain of events for me, really. Because I loved stand-up comedy as a kid.
Yeah.
I thought stand-up was awesome. Like there was the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
And then I remember my parents, I remember seeing Bill Cosby himself. I remember my parents laughing at it. Me just kind of, the only thing I remember is a moment where he's going, mine, whatever that was. Do you remember that bit?
Well, when I was a kid, it's funny you say, when I was a kid at school, and I never thought of being a stand-up comic because I didn't know but I used to memorize Bill Cosby's albums. And
really?
I would do, like my brother Russell and that.
Yeah.
And I used to actually, for my talent thing, I would do that bit. And then I also roofied my music teacher. I used to learn Bill Cosby's albums when I was a kid.
And so there was that kind of was a little bit of a thing. Yeah. And then I remember Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I remember a kid across the street. I was about 10, and he had this video cassette. He had a cassette tape that it was just called Eddie Murphy Comedian.
Yeah.
Which was basically Delirious, the Delirious special.
Yeah.
And his grandparents, he came every summer from California to stay with his grandparents who lived across the street. His grandparents were old and couldn't hear anything. And we would sit in the back and play that fucking tape and just lose our shit. I could still to this day probably recite the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I heard somebody saying fuck like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and just cussing like that and saying all that kind of shit. So that was crazy. And then I would say what made me feel like it would be the coolest job in the world was George Carlin.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 16, George Carlin had this special called Jammin' in New York that was on HBO. And that was like the Messiah to me because he wasn't just funny, he was right.
Well, he was a whole different breed of what before then comics were just take my wife, please.
Yeah.
And he was actually coming with and prior to. I mean,
a point of view.
Yeah, and a real point of view.
Yeah. And just, I mean, he did silly shit too.
Yeah.
But it was all just so
hippy dippy weatherman, all that, yeah.
But not at that point.
Oh no, he was past all that.
Yeah. Like but he still did some silly shit. It was just so logic based though.
Mm-hmm.
And then just little, like I just remember like a moment, like there's a bit he's doing in that special where he's like, everybody's always talking about like all the euphemisms at the airport and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, now, you don't have, they're no longer flight attendants, they're uniformed crew members or
remember
whatever.
the difference between baseball and football?
Yeah. That's a really old thing. Yeah. But he did this thing like, I remember he's doing everybody's going, get on the plane. I'd say, fuck you, I'm getting in the plane. Let Evel Knievel get on the plane. And that's just, there's nothing political or anything about that. But he did plenty of other things. But he had a point of view. And so, yeah, I mean.
Do you remember the first, you were probably I don't know if you were born. I can remember when the first HBO young comedian special came out. And I think it was late 70s. It was Richard Belzer, Tim Thomerson, Jay Leno, and I can remember watching that. This is before I got into stand-up.
Yeah.
And I was, maybe I was a teenager. No, I wasn't. I was in my 20s. But
I remember Richard Belzer's.
Oh, he's
probably the 80s.
Yeah, Richard Belzer's was like one of my favorite comics back before he did all that other stuff. But I can remember watching that and thinking, oh wow, this is cool. These guys are cool. That was like one of my first things. HBO Young Comedian Special.
Yeah,
I just remember thinking that it'd be the coolest fucking thing ever, and then just later on, Bill Burr did a show at DMAC.
Oh, did he really?
And a friend of mine stole one of the posters and gave it to me because that was my real.
Yeah, exactly.
Back then, I was just Billy Burr to them.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It was just kind of this chain of events, and then all of a sudden I start. My sister knew a comic, and I went to the shows, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, this is like a viable, actual, real thing.
Yeah.
Financially, no, but it was always. Yeah, but that, like, for you, like,
it was. I mean, I like I said, a comic caused me as a kid, and I used to listen to Pryor and Doug Clark. So comedy was a very important thing. Me and my brother Johnny. I mean, that was never thought about being a job, and then I remember seeing the HBO special, and then I remember the 1980 when they had an open mic night at the Ingersoll, and my friend said, "You tell funny stories, but tell it," and that was it. That started then. So that was 45 years ago. So there you go.
Yeah,
No.
I remember a young comedian showcase that had Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle, Anthony Clark, and why can't I think of his name all of a sudden? Another Dave.
Dave Coulier.
No. God damn, Attell. Dave Attell.
Dave Attell, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were all fucking great. There was one more guy that I don't remember.
Yeah, I think the first one was Leno, Belzer, Tim Thomerson, who actually killed more, and I think the other one was what's his name, Gary Muldeer. I think that's what it was.
I don't know that name.
He was a Funny Bone guy. He used to come to Funny Bone. So there you go.
There you go.
Nice. Yeah, Carlin, I know who he is, but maybe a little bit before my time there.
Yeah, you should check. You should go look up
the
some
records.
stuff.
HBO's. I think he's got 14 stand-up specials on HBO.
He's pretty timeless. He holds up.
He's a Mount Rushmore.
Especially nowadays, man. There's some bits you can look back on that are like, fucking wow.
You think he's talking about what the administration now?
I've seen clips on TikTok, so yeah, I love Carlin. But I grew up with Chris Farley and SNL, and I grew up without cable, so I grew up with the late night shows that were going on in the 90s.
I loved that group of SNL. Like I remember being in
Spade, Farley,
Adam
Sandler. Yeah.
When Adam Sandler came out with those albums, what got Adam Sandler actually really famous outside of Saturday, like he had this album,
the Hanukkah song.
Well, it had all these sketches on it.
Yeah.
And like I remember one of them, like there were like 4 different ones throughout it that were like different severe beatings. Like it was like the severe beating of and now the severe beating of a high school Spanish teacher.
Yeah.
And it's like you hear a door open and close and then high heels, and then you just hear Adam Sandler like, "Hola, señor. Mi casa es su casa."
Yeah.
Oh, ayúdame. Oh, just saying words.
Yeah.
Oh, biblioteca. Oh. Being a kid,
you know what? It's so funny because I never really subscribed to his kind of humor, just that funny voices. But watching him when he does, those are your voices. Would you like a piece of pie?
Dude,
it kills me.
I fucking love Adam Sandler.
Oh,
movies.
I do too.
Adam
Sandler movies are the best. You know why? Because at the end, you're going to be happier.
They're happy.
Everybody wins.
They're just fun, happy movies.
And yet they always end up with he gets the girl. Everybody wins. Yeah. I love those movies.
He's
a cool guy. He takes care of all of his friends.
Yes, those movies,
the grown-ups movies should.
I try to, made, I'm such a fucking, I'm such a cunt about comedy, and like I'm such a purist.
Yes,
but then like, I
remember when you were the police for a while, the comedy police.
I was never the fucking.
Well, with me, you were.
I was the fucking hitman. I was your hitman, is what I was. Yeah. Oh, the fuck half these guys that are coming to our party on Sunday that used to not like me is because of you. I just thought I was this huge prick, and it was just fucking Willie telling me to cuss somebody out. But
nice. What's next?
But there's still guys I fucking hate.
Oh, I know. Very clear. That's got to be for a whole nother episode. Because that's going to be a whole hour of you taking back
Man, I don't know if I want to say,
save it for the special.
Well, no, I won't say it now, but like even going forward, I don't know if I want to mention names really when I talk about guys that I don't like.
Feel good show. We're not a hit program.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do all that.
Yeah,
it's funny though because I did see somebody that like opens for you. You already know who I hate the most.
Yes,
and I see somebody that I'm friends with that opens for him all the time now. I don't know if he moved or something, but anyway, a friend of mine opens for him all the time and is talking about how they're great friends with him and shit. And I'm just like, oh, nobody's great friends with him. He doesn't have friends. He's too fucking weird and fucking stupid to have any real friends.
You're like Seinfeld talking about Bobcat now.
I love Bobcat.
Have you ever heard Seinfeld talk about
yes, Seinfeld hates him.
It's so funny because Seinfeld's always so calculated and cool and everything. And he was talking to that one girl.
Bobcat Goldthwait, and he's just like
fucking hates him. It's tremendous. Just to hear Seinfeld go, yeah, he's fucking funny. He's not funny. He's not funny. It's great.
Yeah, Bobcat makes great movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you watched any of his movies?
Yeah. The clown one.
Shakes the Clown. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's the first one he ever made, I think.
I worked with Bobcat a few times at the Funny Bone.
Really?
Yeah, he was a good guy, nice guy. It's kind of funny because that was back when he was doing it.
When he was doing the character.
And I remember meeting him back room, and he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Where's the crazy guy?"
Yeah.
No, he's on stage. He'll be there. So,
yeah. No, he. Did we talk about this on here or not?
No.
So he's got a movie called Sleeping Dogs Lie.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this movie?
No, but I might go home and watch it tonight.
This movie, Well, did you see World's Greatest Dad, the Robin Williams movie?
I don't know if I did or not.
That's a Bobcat movie.
Is it?
But anyway, Sleeping Dogs Lie is this couple is about to get married.
Yeah.
And they decide before they get married, they should share their like deepest, darkest secrets with each other.
Yeah.
So the girl, her secret.
I'm
trying to remember which one goes. I think he goes first.
It's called Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, or Sleeping Dogs Lie. I thought. But anyway, this dude, his thing was him and a bunch of his friends used to play this game where they would all jerk off onto a cookie. And the last one to finish had to eat the cookie.
Oh, my God.
And her thing was when she was like a freshman in college or something, she blew a dog.
Oh, God. This is in the movie?
Yeah. And so the whole rest of the movie, this dude can't get over the fact that she blew a dog. But apparently it's supposed to be okay that he ate a fucking cookie with 4 different guys' nut all over it.
This is Sleeping Dogs Live, but this looks like a different movie.
Oh, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Speaking of lies, what's the biggest lie you were told in your 20s?
In my 20s?
It's the biggest lie that you were told in your 20s.
Biggest lie I ever told in my 20s.
Not that you told.
Someone told you. Oh, the biggest lie that I told or that somebody told me?
Someone told you.
Oh. Fuck.
Everybody that on the South Side told me that I couldn't be a comedian for a living. I mean, I heard it from everybody. I can't tell you how many people said to me, "Why don't you get a fucking job at the county? Your cousin's working there." And that was you can't do this for a living.
Yeah, I got the same shit.
Yeah, so
I got the same shit.
Also, that the Cubs would win multiple World Series. It's a lie. No. Probably same thing. I'm sure people told you don't just do this as a hobby.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Especially family.
Yeah.
My parents.
Family's worse. Yeah.
Well, my ex-wife,
mm-hmm.
When we first started dating,
told you she loved you.
told me that she didn't have an eating disorder. So that was a lie. She puked up her fucking dinner for 15 years.
With Billy, it always gets way too deep. Just wait.
Well, you said that's a pretty big lie.
Yeah.
No, I'll never forget it, and here's why. And this is one of the reasons, like the whole thing, like had me so heartbroken. Right. The first time she was one of these people that would always make like jokes about stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Like
little misdirection, actually.
Well, like what she ended up doing, like the dude that she took off with, her friend's husband, whatever. She used to make jokes about husband swapping back, like when we were together.
There you go.
Like, and so she would always make jokes about puking up her dinner or whatever. Because, and she had said, like when she was a teenager, she was bulimic, basically.
Yeah.
And so one night we were together. I knew she was in the bathroom puking, and I was like, have you gotten over that? Like, and I remember I told her that. I go, just tell me the truth right now. Like, I'm not gonna go anywhere. We'll see what we got to do to get you help and blah blah blah. That was the first time she told me she loved me.
Oh wow!
What she said.
Misdirection.
I love you too much to lie to you. And I remember her repeating it, like, did you hear me? I said, I love you too. And I didn't say it back.
Yeah.
Because I was like, and I can't believe that wasn't enough. Like I should have just ran right there.
It's because you like the poutine. You North Side kids always, if you get the poutine, you can't. That's where you're gonna go. You like that yellowtail? Did you like?
My numbers were fine. I had a good enough body count at that time. Was that one of the Reddit things?
Yeah, that was one of the Reddit things.
Biggest lie in my 20s. I'd say that was the biggest. I was in my 20s when she told me that lie.
Yep.
That was, I mean, that's a pretty big one, right?
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we saw how it played out, so there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I remember bringing it up when we were going through the divorce. I was like, "You motherfucker."
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Next
question, not from Reddit. This one's just straight from the top of my head. Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier today. What's the biggest what if? And this could be anything. I think of one that comes to the top of my mind. What if Derrick Rose never gets injured twice?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right. So how does his career play out differently? I like to do the what if thought experiment, or, what if George Washington lost? America never exists.
What if Abe Lincoln would have turned his head like Donald Trump did? Just turned a little.
Lee Harvey Oswald just got a little bit of the, or that's the wrong guy. That was John Wilkes Booth. Yeah. Lee Harvey Oswald's the Kennedy guy.
Oh, yeah. So like, well, what if OJ just decided that night just to go get an In-N-Out burger and not just stalk his ex-wife?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your greatest what if then?
Let's do that one.
Okay.
I think we should just go through a few what ifs and think.
Right.
So OJ doesn't kill his wife.
Yeah.
Okay. So right there, boom. There's definitely another Naked Gun movie.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Definitely in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he was already, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he already is. Well, yeah. Well, he's in with good standing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's making another Hertz movie. I mean, another Hertz commercial.
Did they take him out of the Hall of Fame? Is he still in the Hall of Fame? I don't think they did. I mean,
it's kind of funny because they got his.
If the glove don't fit, he must have quit.
They got his bust in there, which is kind of sad because they, it's just a head. So it's just considering that's all that was left of his wife too. So I mean, it's.
I think they took away his Heisman trophy.
Yeah.
Which that may have been over that.
What if, Billy? I'm sure there's got to be some Hawkeye moments you'd like to bring up. What ifs?
Oh, man. What if we win that game against Michigan State in 2015?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get smoked by Alabama just like they did.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
But still, we would have been in. Like, we'd have a playoff appearance.
Yeah, I think
I don't think by any means we would won the national championship or anything, but
playoff.
Not winning that game hurt. Like, we should have won that game.
What if they call a push off on Michael Jordan against Utah?
Yeah, no shit.
And the shot gets called off. I mean,
but no. What I like to think about what happens after though. The what if, like,
well, I always thought would be a good show. It is a good television show would be because now that we have the technology, is to go back on all these, and I would call roll the tape or play back all those games that were decided back in the day before they had instant replay that were wrong. For instance, Don Deckinger calling that runner safe at first against St. Louis against the Kansas City Royals. St. Louis wins that World Series. I mean, there's so many games to where if you go back, for instance, they say, what do you call it? The Immaculate Conception,
reception.
Franco Harris.
Yeah.
They said the ball touched the ground.
I don't know about that.
The tip of the ball hit because if you look, you never see it.
Yeah, but that's also a catch now anyway.
Yeah.
If the tip hit the ground, doesn't matter if you had control of it.
Was it back
as long
then?
as it doesn't move around. No, I'm just saying the what if thing.
Well, I'm just saying that if you could go back and look at that again, if the rules were such that if the ball hit the ground, would that have been an incomplete pass?
I don't know.
Yeah, and there's so many moments in sports history that we will never know because there was no video.
Right.
There was no video.
There's some that there are video though that you can look at and just see that the call was blown.
How about the fucking guy that blew the dude's perfect game?
Yeah, the grounder. There was the bunt. He threw
now they have instant. Now that's a perfect game.
That's a perfect.
They
game.
go and they review
there's only
that.
like 14 perfect games ever recorded.
Yeah, there would have been a fucking. They would have been doing the thing in the dugout, and they would have went and looked.
That's
called
right.
him out. Perfect.
You know what? They ought to be able to go back and give that guy that game.
I feel like they should.
Yeah, because he recorded the out anyway. So I mean,
that was so egregious.
Yeah.
I mean, then especially when you got an umpire that admits that he got it wrong and everything.
You know, if I'm an umpire and I'm on the field, and I'm saying to myself, if this is even fucking close, I'm giving it this guy, because I want to be an umpire that could actually say I had one of those 14 perfect games.
100%.
And no one would have bitched even if he would have blown it the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what if? So if OJ didn't go back? What if? There's so many situations like that. The guy would just turn. Yeah. How many people died because of, what if so and so took a later flight? What if so? I mean, there's so many of those things.
Yeah. What if 9/11 didn't happen?
There you go. Yeah.
What if Len Bias didn't get into drugs? Len Bias was about to.
If he didn't hit all that cocaine that night, that he got drafted by the Celtics.
Yeah, and Larry Bird was kind of on his way out, but they would have gone right from the Bird days to being good still.
Exactly. Len Bias could play.
Another what if. So everybody remembers the Buddy Holly plane crash, but is a couple years later, the 1967 Los Angeles Lakers had to make an emergency landing in Iowa.
Really?
In western Iowa, right near Carroll, I believe.
Yeah.
They had to make a landing in a cornfield, and that plane had Jerry West on it, young Jerry West.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know my history. You know, my brother was killed in the plane crash with Rocky Marciano in 1969.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's funny because you used to say that because I remember my brother calling me that day. I was 13, and he called me from Chicago to say that they were supposed to fly commercial, and my other brother got him a private plane. So he called me to say, Tommy got me a private plane. We'll be home a little later. So what if they don't take the private plane? Rocky Marciano's still he's not alive now. He'd be 100, but my brother was 22.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. That's a big what if. They could have took another flight. Things would have been different. Yeah, definitely. God, let's not end the night on a fucking thing like that. That was sad.
Yeah.
let's get happy again.
Tell me more about your brother dying when he was 22.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to go to that route.
So take me back to what was going through 13-year-old Willie's mind at that time.
Shit, I'll tell you that. Thanks for bringing it up.
So tell me.
Well, the Buddy Holly thing, it was said somebody else was supposed to be on that plane.
When was the last time you told your brother you loved him?
Right. Yeah, I can't remember who else was supposed to be on the Buddy Holly flight. Yeah.
There was somebody that didn't get on it. Right.
Yeah, it was some other. I want to say like not Roy.
Well, I know. Well, Richie Valens.
Yeah,
wasn't supposed to be on it.
Yeah.
But he was sick.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to get him home quicker or get him somewhere quicker.
Waylon Jennings, I think, was supposed to be on that flight.
Okay.
Okay.
That I never heard.
Yeah.
Was he there?
I think so.
At that show?
Yeah. Something
because it was the Big Bopper, Buddy Holly, and Richie Valens.
Yeah.
And Waylon Jennings.
I think it was Waylon Jennings. Yeah. Somebody like that.
Is that not a weird? Isn't Waylon Jennings a country guy?
I think back then we were all kind of. Look it up. Who was supposed to be on the plane with the
Pegasus?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Yeah. Who else was supposed to be on that flight?
Richie Valens.
But they're going to say my brother Frankie.
Yeah.
He was going to die either way.
Yeah, you're right. It was Waylon Jennings.
No shit. Yeah. Waylon Jennings. Oh, poor Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh, shit.
You have any actors that just rub you like
the wrong way?
Yeah.
Lou Diamond Phillips rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah, he's Lou Diamond Phillips.
He's a weird combination. She's Mexican and Filipino, which is not. I don't. Just seems strange to me.
Okay, so there's you have Young Guns.
Yeah.
You have Richie Valens.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was Richie Valens when he was playing Richie. I don't know. At some point he was running, and he just ran. The way he ran bothered me.
Well, that's like every sports movie when they put somebody in there that can't really do.
Yeah, they can't really play this.
I mean, they can't even throw the ball right. And it's like, what the fuck?
So he ran. You ever have like the small guy that could run, but couldn't do anything else?
Right. Yeah.
And they all kind of looked that same, like when they ran, it was very labored.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you looked at them from behind, their hair was like shaking back. You know what I mean?
But they still look fast.
Like they're fast, but their head can't sit still.
Yeah,
you know.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like my dad always described it like guys that he always hated playing basketball. He goes, you can tell their eyes are just fucking all over the place. You throw them and play, their eyes are just fucking bouncing up and down.
When you're a kid, like you always have that one kid who's fast, and so you want to be one of the baseball teams and put him in the outfield. But he get to the ball, but you can't catch it. Yeah.
Thank God for courtesy runners in high school.
Exactly.
You found a place for those guys.
Yeah.
But
who was
Lou Diamond Phillips always rubbed me the wrong way because of that.
Yeah. And that's why I liked Robbie Benson.
Because
he could hoop.
I never liked Robbie Benson. Was he the young?
He was the 1-on-1. Do you remember that movie? What a great movie.
Is it the movie where he gets on drugs?
No. He went to this college to play. He was a small college guy. And then he kind of gets on this team. And he said, up yells at 3.5 poke. I play anywhere I want. You never seen 1-on-1 with Robbie Benson?
I feel
Watch it tonight.
I feel like
he ends up going to a school which is similar to UCLA, and he's got the coach that's like a Bobby Knight.
Is there a moment when he's running around going, run fast, jump high?
That's
Is he on drugs when that happens?
Yeah. I said they did something to him. They somebody roofied him or something.
Yeah. And he said, run fast, jump high. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
That's his name's Robbie Benson. Yes.
I feel the red hot poke. I play anywhere I want. They put him in the end of the game because everybody else fouled out. He scores like 15 points in like 4 seconds.
That guy always reminded me of one of my high school baseball coaches.
The old guy. Yeah.
No, Robbie Benson did. And then he's in there's this movie called Modern Love, I think he's in. And me and a friend of mine, we always thought that was hilarious when we were kids. But anyway.
But Robbie could hoop though. He could at least play ball.
Kevin Costner's one that I can't.
Well, he could play. He could swing a bat.
I know, but I think Bull Durham is the greatest baseball movie ever made. I think nothing touched. I think it's the best.
Yeah.
But it's the best despite Kevin Costner.
You don't think he looked credible as a catcher?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. No, I'm not. That's not why.
Oh, okay.
Kevin Costner is always the same guy in every movie.
Exactly.
And there's no range there. Like
he's the David Spade of
and it's weird because Vince Vaughn is the same guy all the time.
David Spade, same guy.
But I like them.
Oh, so you like that?
Like
maybe because
I love Vince. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Vince Vaughn, it's always a funny movie usually.
Yeah.
But Vince Vaughn, I just like.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something about maybe it's Kevin Costner has something in his inherent personality I don't like or something.
Well, he's kind of very cocky. He always seems a little bit cocky.
Like, did you watch the Field of Dreams game? The first one?
Yeah.
When he came out of the corn before everybody else.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Did that not just give you fucking just the cringiest of cringe fucking shivers?
I don't know how I felt about it.
When he walked out with the baseball and he's like,
he's trying to reenact the movie scene. Yeah,
it was the absolute fucking. It was the corniest, fucking dumbest shit.
It's Hollywood corny shit.
And it took. I swear to God, it took him 15 minutes to walk from the outfield to the fucking pitcher's mound and just fucking look around, and then the players come out of the fake corn.
It was a good game. That kid hit that shortstop for the White Sox hit that bomb at the end of the game.
That was a great
Tim Anderson.
game. I remember watching it.
Tim Anderson.
His career has really went downhill, hasn't it?
Yeah. He didn't hit it. He hit one home run the next year after that.
Because I thought he was going to be a superstar.
He made some comments too that kind of rubbed people the wrong way too.
So all right. We gotta wrap this up, but we got another Reddit.
No, we got no more Reddits. We're all out of questions.
Nice.
We've killed
unless you guys got anything else.
Before we go, let's see. we do have some comments.
Okay.
That we didn't get. God damn it. Let's see, comments. Kate. Fabian. Kate knew Fabian. What was the Fabian thing?
Yeah, he was an old singer back in the day.
That's
and
right.
I met him a long time ago. But
that's right.
Kate introduced me to at her house. Carol Burnett. I think I told that story when I did the show. Kate was at Kate's home. I did a show for Carol Burnett 5 feet from her. It was
oh wow,
the coolest thing I ever did.
That is fucking cool.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Did she like you?
Yeah, Carol Burnett was one of the. You know how they always say don't meet your heroes, and this is complete opposite. This woman came and sat down and said, "Talk to me as long as you want. I'll answer any question you want." And I talked to her for about 10 minutes, and I finally had to say, "I'm taking up way too much of your time," because there was other people there. She was just absolutely incredible.
Of course she was. I've heard nothing but good things about her.
And I even told her then, I said, I'm so glad we had this time together.
Oh my
just
God.
to have a laugh. And I went like that with Mayor.
That's really nice of you.
Yeah, I know.
The Reverend Ray. Reverend Ray, he's bong in hand, spark, click, flame. So he's Waylon Jennings. He confirmed Waylon Jennings.
Yeah.
I don't know what one-on-one is.
The basketball movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what. Okay, yeah, that's what that was. Okay. Oh yeah, he was on Speed. That was it. Yeah.
Oh, he was on Speed. Yeah.
What's White Crosses? I don't know what he's talking
That's Speed.
about.
White Crosses are Speed. Back
when was it?
Yeah, White Cross was the Speed you took back in the day.
Oh, that's fucking great. Run fast, jump high. Yeah, that dude was a dork.
He could play.
I just remember thinking he was such a fucking dork. He was like a squirrely, skinny little dork.
It's supposed to be like this.
Oh fuck. The new baby's here. Look at that.
What's her name?
Sully.
Sully?
Yeah, Sullivan.
Oh, your sister landed the plane on the. Was she have a? She have a water brook or something? She had a water brook in a pool or something. Oh, they landed Sully.
Turns out they're at the Hudson Hospital.
That's right.
It was a hard landing, but nonetheless.
Yeah, everyone came out okay.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Well, this is definitely the longest show we've done.
Yeah.
Got quite a few people watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody.
Right.
We love you. We will see you next week after we have our
Christmas party.
We might turn the mics on for that a little bit. I don't know though. I mean, that's such a.
I turn it on and just leave. You get those guys. They'll take up all the time we need.
Well, it's so many people though. Yeah. I don't know how we would pull that off. Really.
You know what? We'll just think about it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, love y'all. Peace.
Peace.
See you in a week.